My colleague from Idaho, his comments about the northern border. This is a bill that is fundamentally about tariffs. I acknowledge what my colleague said, that there are issues at the northern border, and I have colleagues who have shared that, and there's mechanisms for working out those issues. And I would ask my colleagues, if you're concerned about any issue on the northern border, do you think we will more likely to be able to deal with it if we work hand in hand with Canada, or do you think the path to success is punitive actions against Canada? I would argue plainly that the right way to deal with any issue at the border with Canada is to work with Canada, not wage a trade war against them. This vote, though, is fundamentally about tariffs. The president's imposition of tariffs against Canada that will be a costly tax increase on American families. If the president has concerns about trade issues with Canada, guess what? This president negotiated a signature trade deal, the USMCA, that got 89 bipartisan votes in this chamber, and he has a negotiating process to find a resolution to any issue he cares about. The imposition of tariffs does nothing more than put a tax on American families. What I'd like to do, I did speak earlier today, but what I'd like to do is just read quickly from many stakeholders who have weighed in support of Senate Joint Resolution 37. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce, quote, "Tariffs are taxes paid by Americans, and they will quickly increase prices at a time when many are struggling with the cost of living. That's why it's appropriate for Congress to exercise its authority under EPA and pass Senate Joint Resolution 37. North American building trades, quote, the United States and Canada share far more than a border. We share a deep, enduring economic and workforce partnership that has strengthened both nations. That partnership is enshrined in the USMCA, a comprehensive trade agreement that President Trump himself negotiated. We shouldn't circumvent this agreement. Sheet metal workers. Tariff penalties aimed at Canada for non-trade objectives have already caused harsh and unnecessary economic pain for U.S. workers and harm to our nation's construction and related metal fabricating businesses. National Retail Federation. U.S. retailers depend on Canada for a wide range of consumer goods. These operations are all now being significantly disrupted because of the tariffs applied to Canada. U.S. Conference of Mayors, these actions are raising prices for consumers, disrupting key industries such as construction and manufacturing. They also risk increasing already high housing costs, as lumber, steel, aluminum, and other critical building materials will make housing more expensive. The AFL-CIO, imposing large across-the-board tariffs on Canada aimed at non-trade objectives will only cause unnecessary economic pain for workers and businesses. The International Association of Machinists, these new tariffs on Canada, one of our closest allies, are unjust and will have a lasting negative impact on American and Canadian workers. The National Taxpayers Union, Canada is an important supplier of goods that strengthen U.S. security, including crude oil, natural gas, steel, aluminum. Tariffs that restrict our access to these supplies and increase their cost will weaken our industrial base. The Taxpayer Protection Alliance, TPA, enthusiastically supports the effort to overturn President Trump's February 1 national emergency declaration. This use of the IEPA is fraught with issues. The ensuing trade war will inevitably raise costs for consumers. United Steelworkers, these new tariffs are misdirected, unsubstantiated by facts, and harmful to the very workers we represent. And finally, Advancing American Freedom, the think tank formed by former Vice President Mike Pence. Tariffs are a tax on American families and business. The first Trump administration cut an excellent deal with Canada with the USMCA. The president should not abandon this agreement. We have a chance to stand strong for our businesses and consumers, our foresters and farmers, our national defense industry and shipbuilders against cost increases that will hurt people's pocketbooks, hurt American competitiveness, and hurt our national security. I urge my colleagues, vote yes on Senate Joint Resolution 37. I will yield back all time on the resolution.